Lesson 1-2, what is the segment addition postulate? How do we use it to solve segment problems? And we began with some vocabulary, postulates, axioms, theorems. Basically, those are rules in geometry that we're going to start hearing about a lot more from today on. We went over some other vocabulary, coordinates. What are coordinates? Basically, those are numbers that correspond to a point, and we're going to talk about distance and length interchangeably. We started with something called the ruler postulate, which basically says that the distance between 2 points, you can calculate that by taking the coordinates, subtracting them, and getting the absolute value. So, for example, what's the length of BD? Do 7 minus 1, which is 6. Absolute value is 6, so that's 6 units. Makes sense? But you can also do it this way. You can go 1 minus 7, which is negative 6. Take the absolute value, then you get a length of 6. Alright, so that's what the ruler postulate says. We went over some vocabulary again. You've seen this in the first lesson or two. Then we got to the main crux of the lesson, which is the segment addition postulate. What segment addition postulate says is that if you have this length, WD, or this segment, that equals this green segment plus this red segment. The problem is that sometimes it's not in color, so I think I can change the color, and here it's all just black and white, and you can see it's a little more challenging with those if it's just one color, but that's the general idea. So this entire length equals this length plus this length. I write that out as an equation. The length of WD equals WA plus AD. Then I plug in to solve for whatever the unknown is. So here's one example. JM is 8 centimeters. JA is 3 centimeters. How much is X? A lot of you can see that. That's 5. But as I use my segment addition postulate, I write out the general idea. Then I substitute and solve for the variables. Alright, we did some other more complicated examples in class. I won't go over all of them, but here will be a typical example where they're asking you to find the length of LA. Alright, and so just some pointers for you. Write out the general idea first. Alright, so here's the segment addition postulate. Write that formula out, then substitute and solve using Algebra 1. And be sure to answer the question. They're asking not for X, they're asking for the length of LA. So be sure to answer the question, and so you need to substitute in for that. Alright. Finally, the last idea we had, and we did this very briefly because we're going to see it more in the future, is what's the difference between length and congruence? And here's the difference. Length usually involves numbers, like this is 5 units and this is 5 units. Congruence means these two segments have the same size and same shape. So if I pick up this green segment and I twist it, put it on top of this red one, it will be the same size and same shape. Think of it as like identical twins. These two segments are identical twins, but their lengths are equal. They both have 5 unit lengths. Alright, so that's lesson 1.2. Thanks for watching, and feel free to ask questions on the YouTube video page. Thanks. Take care.